Thank you so much for tuning in to The Awakening with Katina Love and its segment on Inspiration Sunday. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Awakening with Katina Love, where there are over 60 shows to download for your listening pleasure. Our special guest today is Kevin Young, intuitive business coach and law of attraction teacher, and also the organizer of the Billionaires Club in Farmington Hills, Michigan. His website is psprograms.com. Today's topic is about manifesting without action. Thanks so much, Kevin, for being a guest today. How are you?
Wonderful. My pleasure to be here. Thanks for asking me, Katina.
You're welcome. Awesome. So I'm excited to talk today about manifesting. But first, I'd like to ask you, just kind of share with us, what is the law of attraction and how that relates to manifesting?
Sure. So the law of attraction is a naturally occurring phenomena of nature, which simply says that things that are similar in what we call vibration are attracted to each other. So everything has a characteristic vibration or a frequency, a speed that it's vibrating at. And even though we can't see it, it still is present. It's sort of the nature of the energy of the universe is made up of is this vibrating energy. And the neat thing is that we as individuals, conscious beings, and all conscious beings have this ability, are sending out a vibration, and we control it by our focus of thought. So the energy that's coming out from us, the different so-called frequencies or vibration, then have a point of attraction, and that's what brings things back to us. So it's sort of a mirroring effect that anything that's out there that's in proximity to us that matches the frequency that we're on is going to be coming towards us, and we're going to get signals to our impulse stream that comes through us all the time is going to be sending us towards things that match. So there's always a rendezvousing effect.
That's really cool when you think about that. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, nothing you can do to turn it off. It's just there.
Yeah. It's like nothing we can do. It's there whether we believe it or not, or
it's like
or
gravity.
conscious or not. It just is, right? It's just there.
It's just there, but most people are not cognizant of it because they were taught certain things to ignore their own guidance, and so as a result they manifest things that they don't necessarily want all the time, and then they look around them for like who's responsible, like who did this to me, and there's so much victim mentality in our society, when really we are creating the reality that we're experiencing all the time. So our job as teachers and coaches is to help people to understand where that's occurring and how they're creating the reality. There's no bad realities, there's only unwanted ones, and then how to turn that to what you do want.
Absolutely. So what led you to the law of attraction, and what led you to become a coach and teacher of it? Like, what's your story?
Sure, yeah. Well, like everybody, I got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were introduced, Suzanne and I, my wife, were introduced to law of attraction by the movie The Secret, which many people saw back in 2006, I think. And that kind of opened the door, and it's almost like when you watch this movie, which is really worth watching if you haven't seen it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with it. The idea that you can actually have anything that you want was, everybody believes that, in their dreams that's the case, but in reality, life is so hard sometimes. So it opened the door to the possibilities, and it tied in with all the positive, motivational, inspirational materials we had both separately been following for many years. It became the underpinning that made so much sense, like why this all works the way it does. It's so simple and so straightforward, and yet nobody's doing it. And so we started our company, Personal Success Programs, the year after to start exploring it. And then in 2008, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and which really got my attention. And I started to really dive into where did that come from, and how did I create that? If I'm the creator of my reality, how did I create it? And right around that time, we were introduced to the materials of Jerry and Esther Hicks, who teach the teachings of Abraham, and it's not the biblical Abraham, but it's so that's a longer story than we have time for.
Collective consciousness.
Yeah. And yet, and so I'm an engineer at heart. Before I became a coach, I was a computer guy for many years, and so you got to show me.
Right.
You know, right?
I
You
get
gotta,
it.
yeah, that's right. And so I, I'd listened to these recordings, which they'd been doing it for more than 30 years and have a worldwide following. And I'm not about to join a
Yeah.
cult, but there's something very pure about the material. So
Right.
I, of course, analyzed it every which way from Sunday, and we bought dozens and then eventually hundreds of recordings, listened to them
Wow.
on YouTube, and just immersed ourselves. And it's just,
Yeah.
truth when you feel it. And
Yes.
this was
Yes.
truth,
Mm-hmm.
never anything negative, always felt good. So that then became the impetus for once we started to get it enough, and I got through the brain tumor and started having law of attraction moments, if you will, manifestations, where I could definitely say, I did this and that occurred, and there was no direct action involved. Then that's when you start to prove it to yourself. And that's what we teach
Mm-hmm.
everybody. You can't, I can't prove anything that I'm telling you to you. You've got to
Mm-hmm.
go out and do it for yourself,
Yes.
and then you'll know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So can you give us some tips on how we can master manifesting without action?
Sure. Manifesting without action is an interesting phrase. I know I used it when I posted a Facebook thing on how was getting coaching clients, and all my coaching clients pretty much have come through no action, direct action. Like, I don't market, I don't
Mm-hmm.
advertise.
Okay. Okay.
But the interesting thing is you're manifesting all the time. The question
Mm-hmm.
is, are you getting what you want?
Mm-hmm.
And in the early days, I was manifesting a mix of coaching clients, ones that I wanted and ones that I didn't want so
Yeah.
much.
I
Right?
get that.
Yeah, we all do that when we're not quite sure what we're, what the mechanism is that it's bringing them, how it's
Mm-hmm.
bringing them to us. But what I had an experience back when I got into coaching, which is probably about 5 years now, where this was happening, and the clients were going away and they weren't coming back, and it was around Christmas, and I thought to myself, God, I'm just, I love the coaching process. I love what
Yeah.
I've learned, and I love the law of attraction, which are two separate things that I combine if a client wants. And I realized, I'm not, I coach because I love coaching, and I was trying to coach in order to make money and to get clients.
I get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I let
Mm-hmm.
it go, and I think it was by about February. Well, January, I got the impulse to just send out a bunch of half-hour free coaching calls to
Mm-hmm.
Facebook. And so I got half a dozen people, and they all were fantastic. Like, I just got
Wow.
into that zone, and then the next month I had coaching clients,
That's
and
wonderful.
they weren't the people who did the free calls either, except I think one of them was.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Wow.
that
That's
makes sense.
cool. Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. That's really cool. So
So,
how can we, like, if somebody's new to this manifesting and it's something that we want, just say if we want a particular job or career, or we want a certain type of mate, or if we want, if we want clients ourselves, or we want to manifest a new car or whatever it is, what can we do ourselves, within ourselves, without, like you're saying, having that need, oh, I need this job, or I need this mate. Like, how can we just kind of just relax and just allow, because that's the main thing. What I'm finding, even with my coaching, is that people are having a hard time with trusting and allowing God. We say we trust God, but do we really trust? So how can we just chill out and allow, and let the manifesting, let the universe take care of
yeah,
that.
well, you just answered the question.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly it. It's letting it go.
Letting it go.
Yeah. It's as soon as you need something, you're in a low vibration, and what you're
Mm-hmm.
attracting is its lack.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where people get, they pray, they hope, they want, if I only had this thing, my life would be complete. But that means it cannot come with that vibration, because what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying is, I don't have this thing, and you're focusing on it. So you have to let go of the need for having anything really show up. And typically those kinds of things come from living in the future. The
Mm-hmm.
belief that someday I'll be happy, but I'm not happy now. But when that thing shows up, then I'll be happy. Well, it violates the law of attraction. So you have to find ways of move. I find that for myself, because I spend a lot of my brain power in the future. I don't so much anymore, but as an
Mm-hmm.
engineer, I typically I'm thinking down the road, what I got to do next, what's the plan, what are the goals, and I pretty much let all that stuff go. now.
Mhm.
I live in the present as much as possible, and I
Mhm.
do what's next for me, and that becomes the good feeling impulse. So we like to say that your job is basically to get yourself centered and in alignment, meaning feeling good, and by being in the present moment, that's the best way, because then you're not thinking about the future or the past. And whatever's in front of you is the feedback from the universe as to how your vibration is doing. If what's in front of you is feeling good, then you're on the right path for you. If what's in front of you is not feeling good, then it's time, it's a little awareness check. This time to do something to get yourself feeling better. And that's the whole process.
Mhm.
And then things will show up that are unbelievable, because
Wow.
you have no access to all the doors of the universe, but the law of attraction does. And so
Mhm.
it can open a door to $10 or $1,000,000, and it's just a different door. It's just as much effortlessness by the universe. And it's all a reflection of how we're doing.
That's really cool. That's really cool. You know, it sounds so simple, doesn't it? Just trust, just
It is
allow,
on
just feel
paper.
good, just be in the moment. It sounds so it is simple. It is simple.
It is simple.
It's just that we as humans, we kind of resist, like, oh no, it can't be that simple, or oh no, just having that need to be in control, I
There's
guess.
the word. That's the
There it
exact
is.
word. Yep. You hit
And
it on the head.
and so the key is to just let go and not, you know, be in control, not try to be in control and
Yeah.
just.
A control's an illusion anyway, because nothing moves uh, randomly or by chance or by accident. Everything's moving through the attraction process. Even when we're physically moving things around, there's a force of attraction going on. So it's something, it's what we say is, it's, you want to ease into it and
Mhm.
take small things, just spend a little bits of time meditating and getting your vibration up, and then start becoming aware of what's showing up in your life and look for improvements. So if something shows up and there was no action that you took, and you say, oh, well, I just found $1 on the ground, or that
Right.
person just called and uplifted me. Well, start writing those down. We call it a touchstone list,
I like
because
that.
those are, a touchstone is just a point of truth or a
Mhm.
basis of fact for you. And then you start to kind of build evidence, and by doing that you build momentum, and then the law of attraction starts to become your friend, and the ship then leaves the dock on its own.
That's so cool. That's really cool. Would you like to share a few things that have manifested for you, like some major things?
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about this earlier, and you get to a point where, and I certainly don't have everything that I want right now, but
Mhm.
but um, you forget how many things show up until you go back and look.
Yeah.
I appreciate the question.
Yeah, I deal with that myself. I'm like, there's so much stuff manifesting that I want that I can't keep track of everything.
Yeah, yeah, and how cool is that?
It is cool.
Yeah, good to be reminded of it. So even for me, so
Mhm.
I mean, the obvious first one is my wife.
Mhm.
Suzanne, before we knew about this stuff, we just were both going through some difficult relationship breakups, and we were taking care of ourselves respectively. And so we met in a meditation class, because we were both trying to find that way of getting that inner peace and stillness that I was talking about just a minute ago. So
Mhm.
law of attraction just kept bringing us together, and even outside of the meditation class, because we went back several times, that we would just keep rendezvousing, and there was just like a
Wow.
strong energy pull. And so my logical mind could have said, oh, this doesn't work and that doesn't work about the relationship, but I was far enough along that I just let it go, and boom, when we clicked, it was literally when we touched hands when we went to
Wow.
park ourselves. We both felt an electric shock. There was
Wow.
so much energy moving, because we were both so in alignment with each other.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
So,
wonderful.
and there's another one that's which you know about, and that's the Billionaires Club.
Yeah.
We go to these events with the Abraham Hicks, some of the followers. We go on cruises, and been on I think 10 now, and there's
Mhm.
typically between 800 and 1,000 people who just are in this positive state. So we love going on the cruises, but we realized I think it was about 3.5 years ago, that coming back from a cruise, and this one was in the Mediterranean, and we thought, how cool is it? We just had this fantastic experience, and now we got to come back to Detroit, and we don't know anybody.
Wow.
And nothing against Detroit, I've lived
Yeah,
here all my
right,
life, but
right.
it's not the Mediterranean. It's not 800 law of attraction followers.
I know.
And so I said to Suzanne, or she said to me, I can't. We often have the same thought at the same time, so I lose track of
Wow.
who says what. Uh, wouldn't it be cool if we just had some friends in Detroit that understood what we did?
Yeah.
And the long story short is, in February, I was on a mailing list for the Billionaires Club because it had been around since 2009, but we just didn't care for the organizer. But there was something that said stay on
Mhm.
the list, and
Mhm.
boom! All of a sudden, she stepped down and disappeared. Like nobody
Wow.
knew where she went. And anybody can be an organizer in Meetup.
Uh-huh.
All you got to do is press the button and pay $14 a month. So man, did I
Wow.
press that button quickly!
Wow. Cool.
And in the next moment, I had 611 new friends.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And now
That is
we've got 1,500 in the Billionaires Club.
wow. That's great. Yeah, I'm coming to the next meeting.
Yay!
When is it?
It's Thursday, May 18th.
I will be there. I am coming. I can't wait.
Yeah, same here. Looking forward to meeting in person.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great, great, awesome. Okay. So would you like to talk about the services that you and Suzanne offer together?
Sure. So we both are coaches. I've been through a certification process, learning a certain format called International Coach Federation Coaching, which is a worldwide standard of about 50,000 coaches. And I integrate that with the law of attraction training. So I do individual coaching, and if somebody wants to book a free discovery session with me and explore it, then working together, they can do that on our website. You gave us the website, and we'll give it again here in a second. Just go to the About section on my page, and there's a book button right there. I also, with Suzanne, we do a Law of Attraction Foundations workshop, which is an all-day Saturday workshop, which we typically do once a month, sometimes twice a month, when we attract enough people to hold one.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at larger venues now. We've always kept it small and intimate, like 6 people at the most, and we have it out of our house. But
Mm-hmm.
we've decided that we're going to expand because a lot of people are becoming interested. And then
That's
we've
wonderful.
we've done lots of webinars and workshops and so forth, but we're currently working on some e-courses so that we can help people who want something lower cost, entry level kind of thing. We want to serve
Okay.
a broader market. But that's
I
basically
get it. That's wonderful. Okay, and your website.
the website. The long version is personalsuccessprograms.com. And the short one is psprograms.com. Both will go to the same place.
Wonderful. And so is that the best way to reach you, to go to the website? Go through the website?
Yeah, and then you can click on the Contact Us link up at the top and then fill out the form with your name and email address, and that shoots an email right to me. And then we can, if you want to send your phone number, if you want to talk, or you can call us. The phone number's up at the top of the website as well. That's 248-349-6225.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks so much for being a guest today, and thanks for sharing all the wonderful information and experiences.
Oh, my pleasure. It's been a delight to talk to you, Katina.
Thank you. And audience, thank you for tuning in to The Awakening with Katina Love. Namaste.